The Panthers on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Forced out to his left. And the Panthers in for the score. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the final piece to the puzzle was the Cam Newton touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's Hines, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Here's Wilson, firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup, first down New Orleans. This is Miller, complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. It's complete. It's Miller. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now Wilson. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 5-yard touchdown as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go!
Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A shotgun snap for Newton. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And that will do it for this first half. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Go, go, go. Check 13. Check 13.
They go play action now. Wilson. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And it's complete. Hooper. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 28.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to use.
And he's got him. Touchdown, Saints. Ito Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From the 25 on second down, Newton flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Well, now they'll try the end around. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game could really benefit your team right now.
Flush to his right. He'll run it. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And to give this time to the tailback. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And he'll give it here to his running back. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
20. Switch.
Going to give this time to the tailback.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Let's go.
It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Watch the whip.
Play action. It's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Newton. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
You see me?
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Gun.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Mike's 47. Yeah, let's get sacked.
From the gun, Newton. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Looking end zone for Jones. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And the Saints will have the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach knows what he's going to say, why he did it. We need the points, okay?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Flushed out right. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Jonnu Smith, the tight end, his intended receiver. But it'll be second down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. And he'll give it here to his running back. That'll net 7 yards on the ground, but it'll leave him with a healthy distance still to go on 3rd down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
They fake the give. Newton. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Flush to his, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And the Saints will have the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now a play fake here on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The offense staying out there. They're at 50%, 2 for 4 thus far in the game. What can they do here on fourth down? Escaping the pressure right. It's caught. Jones. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Newton. Steps away to his left. He'll take his shot for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Check 99. Check 99. 20.
Throwing here. Newton. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Carolina, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week.